We're going to save the game and then continue with the next one. Because we have one more fight in Group A. Hey, Auke, that's your turn. It's Auke's turn. Auke, with their legendary dragon team, did not make it through round 1 well. Actually losing 1-0. So interestingly, Auke is going to fight in the exact same Coliseum again, Waterfall Coliseum, because that's how it was randomized. And we're going to see the winner from the 3-0 match. This person who beat Green last time out, Auke's GF, face off against someone who definitely wants revenge on this Coliseum. Auke, let's see if it goes better for them this time. And let's see how that Latios will act this time, because that Latios didn't end up having a good time last time, did it? Oh, I totally forgot to do something. I was gonna make this a tiny bit smaller. No, it's still a little bit in the way of like the final Pokemon's image and their nickname, but it's more that the title that the trainer has, such as Sophomore or Minor Trainer or Groudon Boy, that you can actually read that over the webcam. That's why I wanted to make it just a little bit smaller. Adios and adios, yeah. If you feel like the webcam's a bit too small, because I do feel like it might be a little bit too small, do let me know and I'll move it back. Actually, what I'll just do is I should put it back. I don't remember how big it was before. I think it was around this. Maybe I'll just move it down and up again to see the titles. Actually, no, just keep it like this because you can see the titles on the trainer passes. Yep, the L's were removed. Also, what you might notice is that the people who were on the left side last time out in round 1 are now on the right side in round 2, and well, and on the right is left. The program that I'm using to decide on that actually has done that for us. They always try to make the first listed player and the second listed player have to give each player an equal amount of lefts and rights, or first and second listed listings. Wait, huh? Wait. Do that again. Because I'm not sure. I hate them all. There we go. Maybe if it was a base face cam in the bottom middle. Yeah, I was thinking what it blocks. I definitely don't want it at the top because then it blocks HP. I can think about the bottom middle. Let's just look at the match. Yeah, it would block. Yeah, it would totally block the HP bar when Pokemon get hit because that's in the middle. So that'd be a lot worse. The bottom corners would be the least bad. That's actually what I did think it blocked things, so that's initially why my first, let's say, 35 Battle Revolution videos and the streams they came from, I didn't actually use my webcam. Because I didn't really feel they were in the way, but I did use my webcam for the, let's say, pre-show of this tournament. And then for the exhibition matches, and I thought, hey, it's not really that much in the way, so I'll just keep it for the tournament. So we can see my reactions better as well. Starting us out with Curse. Electrode lowering a bit of its speed to get more physical attack and defense. Early stat changes can be useful because then you can make most use out of them throughout the rest of the fight. Oh, here's Earthquake. A big move for Latios. Making use of that extra defense that Electrode just got. Mesprit doesn't get hit because of Levitate. Latios, same thing. Electrode happy it got a defense boost just now. Latios then Torment. That's big. It's not quite taunt or disable in how bad it is, but Torment basically means you can't use the same move twice in a row. That means every second turn until Torment runs out, you can't move. Because now Agumon will be able to... Actually, no, it counts last turn's move already. Last turn he used Metronome. So this turn, it's forced to use something other than Metronome. But because it doesn't have another move, it's forced to use Struggle. And the next turn it can use Metronome again. And then the turn after it has to use Struggle again until Torment runs out. It's not too often seen in competitive, although I think I had Torment on a Heatran in Gen 4 at some point. Poison Sting, not that much damage, but if it poisons, that can be huge. Poison and Burn can be very big. Remember, Burn is still 1/8 of the full HP in this generation. It was 1/16 starting again in Gen 7, I think. Or maybe you move the game in a little bit smaller window and then move your face cam outside the game with a small overlay design. Possible, yes, but one, I would have to make an overlay design, which I don't really want to do. I feel like the game already fits really nicely. So I don't think a layout really adds too much. Like, I'd use it for some other games. If the screen, let's say, is more square, let's say, like Nintendo 64 games, I have that. When I play Pokemon Coliseum, I definitely have a layout, because then I wanted to show something on, show the Pokemon that I have. The Blue Let's Play that I'm doing, I have a really fancy layout. That's, I think, the fanciest one that I have. I don't expect to use it here. Encore is not actually bad because they're going to use Metronome anyway. That also does absolutely nothing because they're just going to swap Levitate with Levitate. Draco Meteor! Critical hit from the Dragon type! That Mesprit got murdered! You could have called it murder if that happened to the Electrode, but the Electrode would go down to any one more hit, so that's likely... There's a pretty good chance it actually will take itself out next turn with Struggle, because remember, Torment's active on it, it can't use Metronome next turn. That Mesprit died. That Mesprit absolutely 100% died. Next Pokemon. Wow, the delay on the stream is like maybe a second. Because I saw the sending out the Pokemon animation, throwing the ball. I looked at my stream and a second later it happened. Let's actually see what happens. 1.5 seconds. That's about 1.5 seconds. So it's just really good for a stream delay. Normally it's like 2 to 3 seconds. Ladio's forced to use Encore, but it doesn't mind because it's going to do that anyway. Fire Punch! Very high defense in Aggron. I think it has 180 base defense. Actually, in Generation 8, Aggron now gets Body Press since the DLC came out. Oh, need to close this a bit. Bit of wind. And Body Press uses the Pokemon's defense stat instead of the attack stat to calculate damage. So that way you can just create a really defensive Pokemon with the effort values as well. Put nothing in attack, yet have a super powerful attack. Punishment. That's super effective. I don't think there's any stat increases on the Latios, so Punishment doesn't gain any power. But still, there was some good damage, super effective. But Electrode was taken out. It took itself out with Struggle, so that is a 6-4 lead for the Legendary Dragon team. Here comes Skuntank. Actually sent out as the 4th Pokemon this time. Where last time out it was accidentally sent out 5th. Although then it came out together with the 5th Pokemon, Victreebel. Anyway, so it didn't really matter. Latias comes in with Flash Cannon. Keeps using pretty big moves, although you do have to remember that Latias now does have a halved special attack stat due to having used Draco Meteor a couple of turns ago to take out that Mesprit. Charge Beam, 70% chance to increase special attack. The Charge Beam is actually the highest chance of a side effect of a move happening with 70%. Actually no, Dynamic Punch and Zap Cannon have that with 100. If you count that a chance, because if it always happens, it's not really a chance. Power Up Punch does not exist in this game. That was introduced in Generation 6 in X and Y. If it's basically guaranteed, it's not a chance, yeah. So if you don't count the 100% chances like Dynamic Punch confusing, Zap Cannon paralyzing, what are other things? Wasn't there a game where Chatter always confused? Oh no, it's gonna rain. That's not helpful. Actually, it's not gonna rain much at all. Sorry for not paying attention to the match for a few seconds. Blaze Kick. Decent. Nothing great, but every bit of damage can count. Oh no, Latios doesn't have to use Metronome anymore now. Let's see, the rain. Radar says rain should be ending in 5 to 10 minutes, so... And it's light rain, so I'm not actually going to close the windows. It should be really light. Yeah, otherwise I'd be closing the windows around the house. But it should be very light. A few drops aren't bad. Things are looking good for Auke so far, but you never know what happens in Metronome. There might just be an explosion, there might be a Healing Wish. We've seen a few Healing Wishes already, or Lunar Dances. Oh, Latios is like, oh, I was encored, I'll give the love to you. Give the love to Valentine, the Skuntank. Another Draco Meteor! But this one misses 90% accurate. That would have been something if you... Especially if they got a critical hit then as well. Ooh, Teeter Dance, a move that confuses every other Pokemon on the field. Not itself, not the user. Like Parasong hits everything on the field. But does confuse everything. But because it moved before Nightmare, Nightmare didn't get confused because it was already confused. It doesn't stack. And then it immediately ran out of confusion. So now it's only Auke's site that is confused. So with a bit of luck, it's a Metronome tournament. But with some good luck, on the confusion, it might be possible for Auke's Jeff to get back into the match a little bit. That is a good way to do it. Latias does get to move with Metronome though. And they call Metal Burst, but they haven't actually been hit. So that doesn't do anything. Skuntank next, Power Swap. Were there increases or decreases to Latios' stats? No, Latios' stats? I know if they would have started with Latias, he would have actually lowered his own, or her own, actually not sure in the gender of Skuntank. But they would have lowered their own special attack. Quick attack, finishes off Latios. So that's the first KO that Auke GF takes. Auke loses their first Pokemon. Latios not sticking around until the very end of the fight. And like in round 1. Time for Snack. I think Snack got taken down by like an Ice Ball or an Ice Beam or something very quickly last time out. I don't remember everything, but I will be re-watching that entire fight once I edit it later tonight. Actually, when I edit that video later tonight, so for people watching this exact match on YouTube, I'm doing all the round 2 matches in the stream that I'm currently doing. And right after this, I'm going to edit and upload the round 1 match too. So that was Auke's first match. And they're gonna almost immediately put it up as a premiere so that we can all watch it together live. There goes Healing Wish! Scorpio, you just said looking better in this round, Auke, but yep, the battle's not over yet. They just took out their own Pokemon, and they're gonna totally fully heal you today. The Giratina, which, yeah. Totally. Time for snack. Healing Wish. Spites. If Aggron stays in the field for some time, that could mean something. Power points lowered by 4. With Valentine. Stealth Rock. I can do some pretty good damage. Would have been the most on Rayquaza, but Rayquaza has already been sent out. Lucky Chant, okay. Aggron and Skuntak cannot be hit by critical hits for 5 turns. Have you ever seen the Sinnoh legendaries naked? If you mean without their armor, then possibly at some point I have. But I'm not too interested in it. Wasn't it? I'm trying to remember now. Auke's match in round 1, where they started pretty well, but eventually it was just Healing Wish and getting hit with some really big moves that took them out. Check Discord. Is it important? No, I've never seen them like that. That's actually not that bad. Huh. Alright, here comes Snack. Hydro Cannon! And that's a huge move. Skuntak is down. It was tied at 4-4 for just a moment, but Auke didn't accept it. Oh, Dark Void. In this game, still able to be used by Pokemon other than Darkrai, and it's 80% accurate. Because in later games, it can still be called by Metronome, to my knowledge, but only if it's actually called by Darkrai can it be used, because otherwise it would just fail. Not interested, Sardo. Like, I guess it can be interesting, but no. Alright, the lead is back on Auke's side, and Aggron on the other side is sleeping. This is looking good for them. Here comes Penguin. I know we're talking about Pokemon without armor, but let's... No. Like, I know we're talking about Pokemon with armor without the armor, and that's what is meant by naked here, but let's stop with you just using the word naked in general, because that can look bad, especially if your comment is send me naked pics, because no, that can be taken extremely wrongly. So please, no. No more of that. Rayquaza to recharge because he used the Hydro Cannon last turn. But it won't be too unhappy about that, considering he did get a KO from it. Vacuum Wave. 4 times super effective, and it's a special move, so will do a lot more damage than physical moves would on that Aggron, considering Aggron has such high base physical defense. He fixed with a good move with Moonlight, but not when it's full health. Aggron then wakes up really early. Metronome into Camouflage, which I think becomes water in this? No, grass type actually. So we now have a pure grass type and a grass poison type on the left side. Mythical Pokemon from the Sinnoh region with all the protective gear removed. Let's just stop about the legendary Pokemon with the gear removed completely. Just no talk about them anymore. Like, if it doesn't look like something that's PG-13, just don't discuss it here. I don't want that on my stream. I suppose if I find it interesting, we can discuss it later in Discord, I guess, but not on the stream. Not happening. Captivate from Penguin. Unfortunately, that doesn't work in a Pokemon that is genderless. There's not that many legendary Pokemon with genders. Heatran and Cresselia among the few. I think Latios and Latios have genders as well. Heatran, Cresselia is always female. Latios, I think Latios is always male. And Heatran can actually be both male and female. Auke leading right now 4-3, and one of the opponent's Pokemon being the Aggron. Not looking too good. Ingrain, a very good move. Then again, we saw an Aquaring last time, and then it was an instant takeout with a critical close combat. Overheat from Giratina. Yeah, that Aggron got cooked. It was super effective because it's a pure grass type, remember that. I used camouflage a little while ago. Auke leads 4-2. So Auke's GF already is unable to get as big of a win as they got last time, because then it was 3-0. Victreebel, Gyro Ball, and Giratina. Victreebel is slower than the Giratina, but not by much. Also, Giratina is very defensive, so that doesn't deal that much damage. Lucky Chant wore off, so critical hits can hit Auke's GF's team again. And because I won 3-0 last time out, they never had to send out their final Pokemon. They do now. Here comes Asuka. Sandstream sets up Sandstorm, and because it was because of an ability that the weather was set up, it is permanent. So you would say, oh no, Giratina requires a Victreebel on some sort of a timer. Not quite. And I'll tell you after this next turn is over. Here comes Snack with Metronome. We'll use Hydro Cannon again. No, but Flamethrower, very powerful, and it's on the grass type. Ooh. Actually, I think even though Rayquaza is really doing well and is very powerful, that Auke's GF wants to take with the Giratina for something I'll talk about at the end of this turn, but considering Victreebel's down, it doesn't actually matter anymore. Victreebel down. It's 2v1 on the field, but there's two healthy Pokemon still in the back for Auke, looking really good. Rolling kick from Asuka. Doesn't work against ghosts. Now watch this. Giratina is a Ghost and Dragon. It didn't take damage from Sandstorm. Why is that? That is exactly why Scorpio Rayquaza, as I sometimes call it, has Airlock for the ability. And the weather exists, but any major effect of the weather is cancelled. I'm not sure if every effect of the weather is cancelled. Like Sandstorm and Hail dealing damage, that's cancelled. I think also the power boosts that come from Hail and Sunny Day, not from Rain and Sunny Day, but let's say Solar Beam, the charge turn for Solar Beam, is that affected? The healing for things like Moonlight, Morning Sun, is that affected? I don't know the exact details of Airlock, but I do know that the damage from Sandstorm doesn't apply. So really what Asuka wants is to take out that Rayquaza so that Sandstorm can start dealing damage to the Giratina. And I actually wonder, because starting Generation 4, which this game is in, Sandstorm actually gives a 50% special defense boost to rock types, like Tyranitar. Does that apply now? With Airlock. Aura Sphere, 4 times super effective. Maybe it does apply, I'm not sure yet. I'll check afterwards. Outrage, yeah, that continues. That's Stab Dragon type. So, Auke's GF and Darrid were the two that won 3-0 last time and tied for the record. Auke's GF was just beaten 4-0. 2 of Auke's Pokemon were never required. Auke took their revenge in Group A, took their revenge on Waterfall Coliseum. That match went a lot better for them. 0 Auke's GF. Let's write this down. And 4 for Auke. 4. So Auke, you happy you were here for this match? Because you missed the last one and you weren't too happy to hear you lost. But you got this one and you got a new tournament record for it. 4-0.